Deepseek R1, a new AI model from China, claims to outperform OpenAI's top-tier O1 model on certain benchmarks, and it leaves Claude and Gemini in the dust. It's being called a Sputnik moment. But here's the kicker. This breakthrough was just a side project of a hedge fund. And even crazier than that, it took a mere $5.6 million to train this groundbreaking model. That's a pittance compared to OpenAI, which burns through hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars to train its models. So how did an upstart from China pull this off? And what does it mean for the future of AI, big tech, and average consumers like you and I? Let's break it down. Let's begin with some numbers. R1's entire training budget was a mere $5.6 million. Compare that to OpenAI, which just last week announced it intends to spend over $500 billion over the next 4 years on AI infrastructure as part of Project Stargate. DeepSeek did not have pockets that deep, but the lack of resources didn't hold it back. Instead, it forced them to innovate. To train their model, they used something called direct reinforcement learning, a method where the model essentially teaches itself by asking millions of questions and learning through trial and error. Think of a robot vacuum that learns by trial and error. If it cleans a dirty spot, it gets a reward, a pat on the back, if you will, like, good job. If it bumps into a wall, it gets a negative reinforcement like, don't do that again. Over time, it figures out how to avoid obstacles and focus on cleaning efficiently just by learning from its own mistakes and successes. This trial and error process is called direct reinforcement learning. In contrast, OpenAI's approach relies heavily on pre-training and supervised fine-tuning. Using this training method, the robot vacuum arrives pre-trained. It's like it's read a ton of cleaning manuals and watched videos of other vacuums in action. It already knows general things like how to avoid walls and recognize dirt. Then you, as the owner, teach it the specifics of your home, like where the furniture is or where areas need extra cleaning. This fine-tuning process ensures it works just the way you want it. The direct reinforcement method is less efficient but more closely mimics natural learning. So over time, the quality of the output should be more precise and robust. I did some testing of my own, which I'll get to in just a bit, but so far it looks like R1 has brought the goods, and it performs on par with OpenAI's O1 model and even beats it on certain benchmarks. But you know what? Benchmarks mean diddly squat because benchmarks don't help me write scripts for YouTube, so I put the R1 model to the test in my workflow. I have a templated set of prompts that I use on ChatGPT to critique and enhance my scripts. Using the same prompts on R1, I was impressed by how fast, responsive, and on par it was with OpenAI's O1 model. With each prompt, the model takes you through its thought process before presenting an answer, and the thought process is very logical, very similar to how you and I would tackle a problem. The first iteration of responses were slightly below what the O1 model would have provided, but with a few additional probing questions, the end result is right up there. So, color me impressed. At this point, if you're paying $200 a month for an OpenAI subscription or any monthly subscription plan, you might want to reconsider. DeepSeek is free and open source, which is a massive game changer. You can download the DeepSeek app from Apple's App Store, where it's currently trending as the top free app. You can also access R1 from a web-based interface on the DeepSeek website. I recommend using a Google sign-in due to the high traffic to the website at the moment. Now, keep in mind that when using the web interface or the app, all your queries are being processed on the cloud. If you are concerned about privacy but still want to leverage the model, R1 runs locally on consumer-grade hardware using tools like Ollama. So all your questions and prompts remain completely private. The model is quite large though, with 671 billion parameters. It comes in at a hefty 400 gigabytes in size. Thankfully, it does come in a few different model weights. Just for laughs, I ran the 7 billion parameter version on my new M4 Pro MacBook Pro with 48 gigs of RAM. The model is 4.7 gigabytes in size, and so far, it's been running okay. I suspect the full-blown model will need a beast of a machine though. Now let's talk about the big picture. When DeepSeek made its model free and open source, it sent shockwaves through the stock market. Just this past week, Nvidia, Meta, Google, Microsoft, and a slew of companies associated with AI saw their stock prices plummet, wiping out over $1 trillion in value. Nvidia in particular took the biggest hit, losing 17% of its value, around $600 billion in one day. This was the single largest one-day wipeout of market value in history. A scrappy upstart from China using older hardware just disrupted the giants of Silicon Valley. But for us, the average consumer, this is a massive win. Deepseek just shattered the illusion that AI development requires endless billions of dollars. It's proof that innovation, not money, drives progress. So what does this mean for OpenAI and for you and me? For OpenAI, the $200 per month subscription suddenly feels a lot less justifiable. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, got philosophical in a post on X. A revolution can be neither made nor stopped. The only thing that can be done is for one of several of its children to give it a direction by dint of victories. I suppose that's true, but I think it's a lot more simple than that. You just need to make better models, and you need to make them free. For the average Joe like you and me, the R1 model is available to use freely and commercially to make money in your own apps, without the burden of having to use proprietary models behind massive paywalls. Deepseek is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that the future of AI doesn't belong exclusively to big tech. It's open, accessible, and, in the hands of the right people, a powerful tool for everyone. Having said that, the irony is not lost on me that an open source model from China is now competing against a closed model from OpenAI. One lingering question remains though. Will the cost of inference mirror the low cost of training? With all the attention being paid to DeepSeek, I guess we'll find out soon enough. The one downside to the R1 model is the fact that it's from China and therefore subject to China's internet regulators. So R1 won't answer questions on topics that are sensitive to China. With that said, I'm still testing the model on my M4 Pro Mac. So let me know what you would like me to test in the comments below. And while you're down there, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.